Hello wonderful people, welcome to another video. What you just witnessed is me making this panel, which is the next piece for the ridiculous mess that I've got going on in my... I don't even know how to describe this thing anymore. It's just a puzzle of a million weird pieces. This goes in here. You'll see it all happen when I'm welding it in. And I'm bringing you with me on the journey. So yeah, a few more things to do to this. I want to make some holes at the bottom of this panel to allow for paint to flow in, because I won't be able to get to it once everything is put together. But there is a few access holes where I'm just gonna dump a load of paint, and hopefully if I put a few holes in some places, the paint will flow better in areas where I definitely can't get to. I need to finalize the shape and the design of this, sand it, paint it, and then get it in, and that will be the last internal structure of that rear area. So let's try and do some stuff, eh? That is very exciting. Very simple thing, but just so handy and so nice. Instead of getting a bit of sandpaper, getting in there, trying to do all of this business, it's just boop, sloop, 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 bloom. Lovely little thing. Highly recommend. One of the things I did before I cut all the old stuff out is I made this template, and this template locates a hole that the seatbelt bar goes through. So this is one mounting point for the seatbelt, and then there is another, just a hole in the car that it hooks into. And I made this template that fits neatly around this mount, and it gives me a location, for where I need to make my hole for the hook portion of the seatbelt. I will also need to make the same hole on this panel here. This is the original part. It has this hole. It has this hole here that corresponds with that, with the hole on the other side as well. So I will need to do this hole and that hole before I do anything else. Nice and straightforward, some holes drilled. I say straightforward, even just drilling some holes takes about 13,000 hours. But yeah, this is gonna be roughly lined up like that. That hole lines up with that hole, it's all lovely and whatever. Little bit of flex in it, so where I can, I can tack it in and then position things exactly how I want. Paint prep, copper primer. I'm gonna have a think about what I need to do with this before this goes on, but yeah, on to the next thing we go. I'm having a weird little problem here. The color of this copper paint is got like a really weird milkiness to it, and it scratches off really easily. I shouldn't be able to do that. I shouldn't be able to just go zoop and it just comes off like that. That's not... I think it was like too cold and damp in here, so it just dried really weird. So the adhesion between the metal and the paint has gotten something wrong with it, so I need to redo it. Sometimes things like that happen. What you have to do is start again, and this is lesson learned. Next time I'm painting something in bad weather, I will paint it, heat gun it to just dry it off nicely, to just get it to a nice cured stage, and then leave it to dry for however much longer. Okay, need to repaint this. Whilst that's drying for the second time, I wanted to address something else that I've just noticed. So this is the clock from the interior. The interior light goes in here, and there's the clock. Well, interior piece, right? I've only just noticed that it is literally ready to break in half. So as you can see on the inside here, this is literally about to snap. It's about to fall off. What I want to try and do is I'm gonna clean up the area around where it's about to snap, put some grooves, put some nice deep grooves into the plastic all the way around here and around here, and then just put some two-part epoxy around. Hopefully that will give it a few more years of life. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so I didn't actually want to mess with it too much. This thing is so old and so brittle. I'm just concerned that I'm just going to break it. So what my solution is just to kind of flood the broken areas with epoxy, and I put the scratches in there to give it something to hold on to a little bit better. I could really flex this before like really easily, but now that's it. It's sort of solidified it, and just it's holding all these cracked pieces. It's just holding it all together, and that's what I wanted it to do. That's perfect. But yeah, this can be put away. And some of the really cool things that I really enjoy, like this just shows the age of the car. So in here, this thing is made in Germany, but not just any Germany, it's made in West Germany. How old is this? That really shows its age. But yeah, it's just every little piece of this car is just such a cool piece of history. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, I'm just going to give this a little wipe down, wrap it up, and put it away with the rest of the parts. But boom, second time around, it's nice and dry, and looks much better. Looks way better this time around. No weird haziness. It's looking nice and dry because it had 2 weeks to dry. I've not been here. Who's there? This is ready to go. I'm just gonna line it up. I'm gonna take my time of lining it up and weld it in, clean up the welds, throw a bit of paint on the welds, move on to the next step. Let's keep this moving. Let's get some stuff done. All right, let's do it. Yes, 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 yes. Welded, weld, welded, weld, welded, 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 weld, weld. Okay, so welded it in. Had some few issues, thin metal, blowing through, bloody annoying, worst thing in the world, but we got there. That's what it looks like. As you can see, where there is like a lumpy, blumpy bits is where I blew through and I had to build up material to fill in the holes. If you look along here, that was a good, lovely run, nice, consistent, and that's what I was kind of getting everywhere. Nice flat welds, looking pretty good, but then yeah, the ugly blobby stuff is where I had to go over some of the holes that I blew through, but it worked out not too bad. It took me ages to line it up to make sure that the bottom of it lines up with the bottom of the sill nicely. Now comes the ridiculous process of cleaning up the welds to treat them. Obviously outside I can get to very easily, but on the inside it's a whole different story. So I specifically left these little open areas here so I can get in there with like wire brushes like this. I can access it from the top, from the inside, to get that edge, and then also in here I can go in quite deep with wire brush, and then I'm gonna try and get some paint on everywhere. Yeah, I'm gonna have a cup of coffee, tasty cup of coffee, and yeah, whatever, I don't know what I was gonna say, just very nice. I can't remember if I've shown this. I think I've shown this before. It's my little contraption. I made this just basically a tube stuck on the end of a spray paint with the end blocked off and some holes drilled, so it just sprays outwards, and I stick it in hard to reach areas and just spray, and it goes everywhere. So this is what I'm trying to do here. This is one thing that, like, I watch loads of stuff, loads of YouTube people like restoring cars and stuff, but nobody ever covers things like this. How do you get inside bloody layers of metal to treat the welds? Because if you don't treat them, there's just no point in doing it. Go inside, and then I go. Oh, drip on my face. This is the kind of stuff you have to do. Otherwise, oh. Bastard. Yeah, obviously I've used the air gun to blow all the stuff out of there, gave it a clean, wiped it off, degreased out everything, like blew it off and made sure there was no rubbish. But yeah, apart from making a massive mess, this thing actually works quite well. Let me show you, let me try and get you in there. Yeah, as you can see inside of there, that's all my welds in there. Now they're all covered nicely with paint. I know this is impossible to film, but all my welds in there covered in paint. And if you look in there, yeah, you see all my welds.
You see the penetration. Oh yeah, penetration, yeah. See penetration, and everything is covered in paint in there. But yeah, you get the gist, and it's good. I'm happy with that. Bruh.